Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be unboxing the Stadia controller. But before we get into it, I'm going to go ahead and roll that intro and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and staying healthy. If you haven't already checked out the nerdcircle.com, make sure to head over there and check it out. Also, make sure you're following along on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Nerd Circle. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to go ahead and subscribe so that way you don't miss anything. If you haven't checked out any of my previous Stadia videos, make sure to go ahead and check those out. There's going to be more to come, so definitely make sure to follow along. Today we're going to be go ahead and unboxing the Stadia controller here. Now, previously, I was using the Moga controller. There is nothing wrong with this controller. I just ended up getting a really good deal to get the Stadia controller, but I wasn't going to get it in time, so we were using it on day one to go ahead and test out with this controller. Now that we got the Stadia controller in, we're going to go ahead and unbox it, and I will be testing it out in a future video. So, what you see on the front of the box is just the controller. On the back of the box, you got one place for all the ways we play. Over on the one side here, you just got a photo of someone holding the controller. And on the other side, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here, on the other side we do have some specs there. I can go ahead and read the specs off to you here in just a moment. If you can read it, you may want to pause the video and go ahead and read it there. The bottom of the box just has some barcodes and tells you what color you picked and what's included in the box. So, specs, we have Wi-Fi dual band 2.4 GHz / 5 GHz. It is 802.11 ABGN AC connectivity. You have Bluetooth low energy 4.2. You have a headset jack, 3.5mm headset jack for headsets with or without microphones. USB-C port for charging, wired gameplay, and accessories such as USB-C headsets. It is HID compliant. It weighs 268 grams. It doesn't feel too heavy inside the box. Dimensions, you have 163 millimeters by 105 millimeters by 65 millimeters. I don't really know what that equates to, but we'll take it out here in a moment and take a look. You do have a assistant button, so you have your Google Assistant button to trigger the microphone. You have a capture button to quick access to image and video capture. And then, of course, you have your lithium-ion rechargeable battery. So we will be doing some further tests in a future video on the battery life with this controller versus the Moga versus some other controllers that we will be testing out. Let's go ahead and break into this bad boy. Now, normally the controller does go for a total cost of $69.99 with free shipping. I really didn't want to pay the $69.99 price, so I had no intentions of getting this controller, and therefore I ordered the Moga. But then day one of Stadia coming to Chromecast with Google TV, I did get a 50% off coupon. Plus, for having Google One and purchasing some other stuff, I did have a few dollars in credits, so my total cost for this controller came out to about $32 with free shipping, and that was pretty much the sweet spot for what I wanted to pay, so I did go ahead and order it. Now, it does come in 3 different colors. I opted for the clearly white, but it does also come in just black, which looks pretty cool as well. And if you want to be really different, it does come in wasabi. Think of like a mint green color. Now, you may choose the color that you chose for your Chromecast with Google TV to have it match it, but it is hiding behind your TV in most occasions, so you may not care. You may just go with whatever controller color you want, which I did go with the white, which does match my Chromecast, but it doesn't really matter. Without further ado, let's go ahead and cut into this thing. Now, other Google items that I have unboxed in the past, they tend to have some pretty good packaging. Looking at the packaging for this, it's pretty minimal. You have your top cover that comes off after you cut it there. It just has the cutout for the controller. That's all that there is there. And then you're going to have your bottom piece to the box, which has the controller sitting up at the top there. So when you remove that controller, you do have an insert that comes out. And under that insert is going to be your cords and some paperwork. So let's just go ahead and take all this out now. And that's all there is in the box. There's nothing else. So we're just going to go ahead and set the box aside. Alright, so if you have a look at the controller here, you can see that it matches the controller for the Chromecast with Google TV. The controller actually does feel a little heavy. It's not a bad weight though. It feels solid, so it's going to feel good in your hand. You don't have to worry about it feeling too cheap. The buttons do feel a little loose. If you kind of compare them to the Moga, they feel a little loose, but I don't know if that's a downside. They don't feel as tight as some other controllers that you may compare it to, but they don't feel like they're gonna break or anything. Joysticks actually feel pretty good. The directional button doesn't feel bad, and the A, B, X, and Y, I mean, they feel pretty average. So all in all, I mean, there's really not too much to the controller. You're going to have your USB-C port up at the top. You're going to have your 3.5mm down there at the bottom. And this is what the controller is going to look like. Size-wise, it does feel good in the hand. It's pretty average. So I think the real test is going to be when we actually try it out. I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference between this and some of the other controllers that I'm using, but they do say that it's supposedly going to work better. It's going to connect directly to their servers. I don't know how true that is, but that's going to be something we're going to try out. It may make more of a difference on some of the first-person shooter games where every second counts. I'm really not into first-person shooters, but we may have to try a few of them just to kind of see if it gives us any different lag or anything like that. But all in all, for the price that I paid, it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it at the $70 price point. Someone else that pays $70 for it is going to have to tell me what your thoughts are. But for $30, it's not a bad deal. We'll give it a shot and see. What I'm going to try here in this video is I'm going to see if it's going to link up with my Google Slate tablet that I have here, because I did have some issues with the Moga trying to connect to it. I really didn't try very long, but it just didn't want to connect. So I'm curious to see, one, if this has any battery life in it out of the box, and two, how easily it syncs up with a Google device. We do know that we had some issues trying to get Google Stadia on this device. It seems as though you can't download the app currently. I can play on the web, but when I tried on the web, it just didn't want to link up a Bluetooth controller. Let's see if we have any better luck this time. I will take a look to see if we can actually download the app now that it's been some time here. Alright, so first you're going to link the Stadia controller with the Stadia app. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you go through the app to get everything set up there. It does connect over to your Wi-Fi, so you're going to go ahead and put your Wi-Fi password in and follow the instructions, and after you get that hooked up there, it's going to most likely do a software update, and then when it's done, it's going to have you connect it to the devices that you want to use it with. Each device that you want to link it with is going to give you a linking code, which is basically a combination of buttons you're going to press on the controller to go ahead and link with it. So we're going to go ahead and try it with the first one here. And there we go, controller is linked to the tablet. So pretty painless process there. I don't have to go through any Bluetooth settings or anything like that, at least with my controller here and my setup. It all did it through Wi-Fi and then the linking code here. So let's go ahead and just see if it works. Now I'm not going to show any footage of this gameplay here. I'm just going to jump into the game real quick just to see if the controller is going to function. I will make some future videos going forward where we're playing on the TV behind me. And then I'll test some other devices, of course, as well, but we're just going to make sure that the controller actually functions. So it looks like it's letting me select some different things, and the buttons are working. So far so good. It connects better than the Moga controller did by Bluetooth. So that's definitely a check in the category for the Stadia controller. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Make sure to check out for some future videos with Stadia and more gaming to come. If there's anything I forgot to mention, I'll leave it in the description down below. If there's anything you guys notice I forgot, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure to ring that bell so you get notified of any new videos to come out. You can also follow the links on the screen to the older videos. And don't forget to share this video across any social media platform that you like. And until next time, guys, stay nerdy.